Good evening, neighbors and friends. Thank you for taking the time to watch this week's Mayor's Message and local COVID-19 update. As I am sure that you are well aware, Governor Murphy has officially reopened all state and county parks once again. However, he does have some very specific limitations in reference to this reopening. Luckily, the majority of those restrictions are ones that we have already been following here in Sayreville since the beginning of this crisis. But I would like to go over those guidelines with you just to make sure that there are no confusions. To begin, our parks have continued to remain open for passive recreation. Those include individual and family type recreations like walking and bicycling, provided that you follow the social distancing guidelines. You must continue to stay at least 6 feet away from those people that are not in your immediate family. Please remember there is no picnicking or barbecuing in our parks or our nature preserve. There are to be no large groups or gatherings, and that includes any team practices. Gatherings should be kept to 10 or under, and remember, even those are considered to be a bit large and could actually encourage the potential spread of the virus. You are encouraged to wear a face covering while you are outside, even in our parks, although this is not a specific mandate when you are in a park or participating in that type of passive recreation. What we do know is that face coverings do protect the spread, and it makes you less vulnerable to actually contracting that if you happen to come in contact with somebody accidentally close. But remember, in order to go inside any grocery stores or retailers that may still be open, that is a requirement. You must cover your face by wearing some type of mask. And the majority of places are definitely checking for that. I know even local Wawas and Quick Checks, some won't even allow you in unless you actually have a mask and gloves. Please remember that even though the parks are open, basketball courts, the skate park, our tennis courts, and all playground areas remain closed. They are not open. Only the main areas that we have been actually following this entire time. We have done a tremendous job here in Sayreville at actually adhering to these guidelines, which is why we've been able to keep our parks open. And I know, and I expect, that everyone will continue to follow these rules so that we do not have to close these parks. Remember, under the governor's executive order, we still have the opportunity locally, if we feel there is a potential threat to public safety, to close those parks under his orders. Additionally, our boat ramp will remain open as well, provided that you have a valid and up-to-date permit. Our recreation department is open. They are processing these permits if needed. You can contact them by going online. You can visit our Sayreville.com webpage, or you can contact them directly by phone. At our council meeting on Monday, I was happy to announce that with the help of our police and in conjunction with the Jewish Renaissance Medical Center of Perth Amboy, we are actually able to offer testing to all of our first responders, essential employees here at the borough, and the remaining borough employees as well. This is a absolutely free of charge COVID-19 test that we are able to offer. And that testing will begin next week. I was very excited to be able to provide this service to our employees and especially to our first responders who have been on the front line dealing with and potentially coming in contact with those people that are exposed. We know under the governor's address and under the comments by the Department of Health that the road to reopening, a very big component of that is being able to provide testing to as many people as possible, to be able to identify who may be carrying this virus and don't know it. So this was definitely a step in the right direction, and I'm excited to be able to offer that to our first responders again and our essential employees. Continuing on the topic of testing, here in Middlesex County, we have now opened our third testing site, this time in New Brunswick at the Redshaw Elementary School off of Livingston Avenue. This is a walk-up testing site which will be utilizing the saliva-based test. Again, this testing site you can visit by appointment only. The site is open on Thursdays and Fridays, and as always, you can register by visiting covid19.gov on that website, and you can search testing sites near you. And again, this is our third testing site. We are still operating the Kilmer testing site, as well as the one in Dayton as well, and all three of them are actually utilizing the saliva-based testing. Also, at Monday's council meeting, I announced that I had directed both our CFO and business administrator to decrease the proposed tax increase for this year's budget by at least 25%. And I wanted to thank the council for supporting my directive. As I stated in my letter to the CFO and BA, we owe it to our residents to help ease the financial burden that this pandemic has caused as much as possible. The budget that we originally created was developed prior to the COVID-19 crisis and outbreak. And it would be absolutely irresponsible for us to move forward and pass that budget in light of the current crisis. We need to find ways to operate and provide services at the lowest cost possible, now more than ever. We owe it to our residents to give them the opportunity to have as much money as possible to provide for themselves and for their families, and I believe that we can find it. So at our next meeting, hopefully our CFO and business administrator will be able to report back that they were able to find those savings. And lastly, I have also called for an emergency council meeting for this Monday at 6 p.m. to discuss Governor Murphy's latest executive order number 130, relating to extending the tax payments from May 1st to June 1st. Again, I called this meeting because we owe it to our residents and our property owners to analyze and make informed decisions to maintain our town and provide services that our residents can afford and depend on. These are not easy decisions that we are faced with at this time. These are absolutely 100% uncharted times, unprecedented times. But we need to make sure that we have as much information as possible in order to move forward with smart decision making that will make sure that our town stays fiscally solid, but that our residents also have what they need in order to make sure that they can continue to stay, live here, and provide for their families during this very, very difficult time. And I have faith that we will once again be able to do just that. Find the balance between our budget and what we all need as taxpayers. On a positive note, I am excited to announce that coming very soon, our recreation department will be working on bringing recreation programming to our SayTV channel 15 and our YouTube channel. While our sports program, senior center, and library may be closed, we will be finding ways to bring fitness, crafts, education, and sports right into your home until we can get back outdoors into the clubs, centers, and organizations that we love. So stay tuned, stay safe, and be well.